your breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger.
Destructoid.
And we are live with Spot Dodge, a live Nintendo podcast. I just realized I say live twice in that intro, or live Spot Dodge live. Anyway, I'm Brett Medlock, the video producer and host here at Destructoid. And today I have a wonderful cast of people, as usual, the same people as always, actually. This is Spot Dodge. Every single week, we react to the latest Nintendo news and give our thoughts on the games we are playing. It's going to be a really exciting time, of course, as it is every single week. And with me today is Greg Vargas, writer over at PC Invasion and streamer over at Dynamite Giraffe. How you doing, Greg?
What's up, man? We're live.
We are live.
We are live.
Living it up.
Come to you live.
Along with him is Mary Stowe, social media manager and host here at Destructoid. How you doing, Mary?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. And then John Friscia, indie developer and managing editor over at The Escapist. And there was a weird noise that happened right when I said his name.
That was always trips me out. Someone's got to like fess up to what that is.
I don't know what it is. It wasn't in the recording last time.
I'm just going to take it as like a shout out specifically to me. So thank you. Thank you very much.
It sounds like something off Beavis and Butthead when they're like boing or something.
Yeah. And then we have lastly we have Brett Larson, the King Daddy Dilf of the podcast. How you doing, Brett?
That's right. I'm doing all right, guys. How are you all?
It's good. It's funny. Like I have this list of like everyone's names and like jobs and stuff that I read every week, and at the very bottom it just says Brett Larson, King Daddy Dilf.
Hey, you know what? Maybe someday I'll turn that into a job. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
The King Daddy Dilf podcast, hosted by Brett Larson, the King Daddy Dilf. Anyway, let's get into today's news. We're going to talk about Nintendo's 2022, all the games that they have coming out for the rest of the year, give our thoughts on them, our hype levels and whatnot. And then aside from that, we're going to talk about what we're playing, Unreal Engine 5, and some other things on the list. But first off, let's get into it. At Nintendo's 2022. I'm going to go down this list, and I'm going to get everyone's general thoughts on each game, all right? So let's do it. Fire Emblem Three Hopes. Actually, Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes. Now, this one for me is I don't like Warriors games, so like I want to be excited, and I did enjoy Age of Calamity somewhat, but at the end of the day, it's just not my style of game. So I don't think I would pick up another Warriors game, even though I love Three Houses, and this looks like a continuation of that story, which kind of bums me out. So maybe I will play it. I don't know. But first, I'm gonna throw it to John, who seems like he might be the most interested out of anyone in here.
He's going to say don't care.
Yeah.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game for like longer than like 10 minutes, maybe.
You're the JRPG like super fan, and all of a sudden you don't like.
Well, I think we've kind of touched on this before. It's because the series started out as a permadeath series,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that stress. And then later on, they added the option to like, now permadeath is just optional. You can turn that off. But my feeling is that, well, if I turn that off, then maybe I'm not getting the real experience. So the responsible thing is to just never play the franchise in my entire
That is the
life.
worst reason I've ever heard in my life.
So you're like one of those guys that when someone says they want to play a Souls game, but they want an easy mode, you go, well, then I'm not getting the real experience from it. So it's like
Yeah,
one of those.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't tell other people I don't think it should exist. I'm just saying that like I wouldn't do that mode.
I go by
Sure,
this
yeah.
rule with games and their difficulties and their character creators and all this. Whatever the default selection is on whenever the game boots up, that's what they want you to play on. And I
Yeah.
think in the latest Fire Emblems, it is like off by default. I could be wrong, but Mary would probably remember. She played it recently.
I haven't played Three Houses recently, so I can't remember which one it like selects first. Is it casual or is it classic? They call it classic mode, the permadeath mode.
Do they
See,
call it casual?
classic. That's practically
Yeah, they call it
confirmation that that's what
classic.
they want.
Yeah, because and like I'm playing more classic Fire Emblem games right now. Like there is no casual mode. It's permadeath, and
just
I've
the
reset
mode.
my game so many times.
Yeah.
That sounds like hell. Like I would
Yeah.
not want to.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Doesn't
Yeah,
Kirby start out in the easy mode?
yeah, I didn't do that
No.
one. I had.
Oh,
to pick the harder
okay.
So-
Doesn't it give you the option right out of the gates?
No. I think
thought
it does actually start on the left side, which is the harder,
it's
the
wild
harder
mode,
difficulty.
Yeah.
But
Is
it
it-
doesn't actually. The game
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
actually start on that, right? I thought it just popped up and said, "Which one of these options do you want?"
It starts
Unless
on
I'm
the left
remembering
side, I
wrong.
think, though.
Yeah.
The left.
You mean like the
Right.
left side is selected?
Yeah,
Mhm.
already. It's
Yeah,
already on
gotcha.
that one, and you
On
can
the
go
harder
right.
mode. But
The
when we
harder
say
mode,
harder,
the game's like
exactly, yes. In air quotes, harder.
But you know what?
The-
You know what? Fuck these developers. I'll play it on whatever the hell I want.
Jesus. This is a family
Dang.
podcast, sir.
Confirmation:
well.
Brett Larson was never hugged as a child.
Too busy dilfing.
Dilfing off.
Right. Yeah, I got too much going on.
With Kirby, I had already had criticisms about the previous games being way too easy. So as soon as I saw a slightly harder difficulty, I was like, this is the mode I'm choosing. I'm not playing on easy, super duper baby mode. But no offense to anyone who does. I mean, it is just a casual, enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Because it's still not even hard on hard mode. Like it's not
No,
hard at
yeah.
all.
It's got some challenges, I would say.
Some challenges for sure. Like
I'd
Getting
say
some of
I'd
the
say
Waddle
that-
Dees, like you can't take any damage on a boss. Like, yeah, that is tricky.
oh yeah, I didn't think about those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
some,
didn't go
some
for
of the
all
boss
of them.
fights, the difficulty definitely ratcheted up. Like
Yeah.
I'd say, like during the level, it was kind of a breeze through most of it. But some boss fights, I was like, okay, this does get pretty difficult at times.
Mhm.
Not like every boss fight, not through the entire boss fight, but it had its moments.
Yeah,
Sure.
especially like there were some power-ups that you could go into a boss fight and just absolutely destroy them. But if you get into a boss fight and you have a power-up that's not necessarily good against them, it was a pretty
Mhm.
challenging experience sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
And
Mary,
plus, at the
Also-
end of the game, you also have like some boss rushes, which gets
Yeah.
kind of tricky.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh, that's
didn't
cool.
die. Like I had such little health that whole
Mm.
time, and I didn't die. I was just like, it was so intense the entire time.
Nice.
But guys, Mary picked up Kirby, so we'll get back to this 2022
Yay.
list first.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Steady.
about Kirby. She played it after hearing all
did.
the hype and all the rage. Did you beat it? How far are you? What do
I
you think?
haven't beaten it. I just finished the 4th area. So
Okay.
I've from what y'all said, I think I'm getting pretty close to the
Pretty
end.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
There's really only 2
Um,
more worlds then.
Yeah. So I love it. It's really
It's so
cute.
good.
And it was worth taking a break from Horizon Forbidden West. I think I was getting like really overwhelmed with like how big that game
Yeah.
was. So this was nice
Mhm.
just to have something like really small, compact that I could just have a lot of fun with. And like the music is so
Yes.
good. I didn't want to leave. I think it's the first area in like the winter area, the 4th world or whatever.
Mm.
Like the music was so good. I was like, it's not gonna get better than this. Like I just want to stay on this level and
Yeah.
just listen to the music.
It's funny because one of my first complaints, I don't know if Brett will remember this. Like my first night that I played Kirby, I complained that the music was too repetitive, and I was like, the only thing I don't like is the music's too repetitive, and like the same song was playing over and over. And then like once it gets going, the music starts to change in different worlds and different levels, and I'm like, okay, this is really good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even really notice it, and then it's because I'm just like it's so like ingrained in the level that like it's not a hard stop or hard start like when the music actually changes and stuff. I'm just like I realized how good it sounds like midway through the level, and I was like, I didn't even notice like it did this whole change up, or it sounds
Yeah.
different, or they're adapting it to the actions going on. I mentioned this to Mary. We were just chatting earlier, and like that's like one of the albums or soundtracks to a game I would like 100% like I have to buy it on vinyl or
Mhm.
like just buy it somewhere.
Yeah,
love
it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I for like even a day after I beat it, even actually earlier today, I had like the menu music in my head because I paused it so many times it would walk away and it would come back and I'd hear the menu. Like I would be at work sitting here, working, and then that music would be playing in my head.
Yeah, Kirby has been awesome. I beat it like over this past week. I had not beaten it the last time we had the show, and it was just a super enjoyable experience. My son watched me play the whole thing, and it was just awesome. Like great pacing, the combat like surprisingly intricate, even though the
Mhm.
dodge function's kind of slow as hell.
Yeah.
It still like feels nice, and especially because like all the different power ups you can use, like the last couple of bosses, I was like strategically thinking like, okay, what power up do I want to use? This one I have level 2, but this one I have level 3, but I like this one more. And so like all that planning and stuff was actually really cool, and it actually kind of makes me wish there was an even harder mode to choose at the very beginning of the game, because it would have been cool to plan like all of that stuff for every boss and not just like the last 2 that were like
Mhm.
decently challenging. But yeah, I love the game. Mary, I'm glad you like it. Any other thoughts on Kirby before we move on?
Everyone should play it. Don't wait, don't
Yeah.
like delay it
Right.
like I was doing. Like just get it, do it.
Yes.
There's some big hitters that I haven't gotten to yet, and of course I haven't beaten Horizon yet, and I haven't played Tunic. But I'd say right now for games this year, this is probably my favorite game of the year, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all with
Me
Kirby.
either.
Yeah.
I
Like
had
Very
very
much.
for
little-
me, it's definitely up in the air. It's between this and Horizon for me. I know a couple of you are shaking your head that didn't get into Horizon like I did.
We
But
all
for me right
abandoned
now,
it.
game of the year is between them two. But man, it's hard to say that anything would top this game just because of like how much fun I had with it. Like I enjoyed Horizon, and there were some amazing moments, but like the fun level I had with this game, like I don't think anything can top it. Honestly, I don't. Like it's nuts to me that I'm even having this conversation about this being a game of the year for me. It really is
Yeah.
too.
For real.
Also, it's hilarious that we continue to be like the singular video game podcast. It's like, what's Elden Ring?
yeah.
Yeah.
You mean Kirby? Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Like I said, Kirby is my Elden Ring because I never played it, and I want to be cool and play a game that everyone else loves. So this is my Elden Ring.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
very few like critiques on it, and I kind of mirror what you said, Brett, about the dodge mechanic, and then like
Sucked.
playing through a challenge level. Like if you're like a couple seconds off from beating a level, you're pushing towards the end. I just wish like once you finish a challenge level, it would just give you a try again right there instead of exiting out to the map and then going back into it. Like just some small UI stuff, but I think for the most part, like yeah, the whole rest of the game, besides frame rate dips, I mean, is pretty solid.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of the challenge levels are tough. Like it would say like your target time is like a minute 30. And I would think I'm doing really well and clocking at like 2:30. And I'm like, what the how is someone beating this in a minute 30? And I ended up finding out that there's secrets and stuff. And like
Yeah.
there's different like secrets you can do along the way that cuts like 10, 20 seconds along the way. So I was just trying to do it like the traditional way. And that's why I was so far behind.
Those
The,
roll
driving
levels
section.
are fun.
The
which
driving
one?
sections. Oh, sorry, Greg. What were you saying?
No, I just said the roll levels are like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
roll
like
where
the
you're-
secrets and stuff.
those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car spots, like where you can try and get like a certain time. There's tons of shortcuts like during those things,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
kept going back and trying to find them, and I would like finally figure out, okay, this is how I get there super fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cut off like 10, 20 seconds. Yep.
Yeah,
In fact, while we were doing the podcast last week, I think Eric put up like some clips of somebody like doing the driving like really fast. And just while we were talking, I was like seeing all these new spots that like I hadn't known you could like cut corners at.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still did it.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, Yeah.
But yeah, Kirby's awesome. Everyone should play it. I would put it up there with like my must-play Switch games like Astral Chain and Fire Emblem Three Houses and all those great games. I think this is up there as one of the best Switch like exclusives or whatever, or Switch
Yeah,
games in
like
general.
For
if
sure.
you're gonna play Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, like you might as well toss this in there too.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
Yeah.
it's crazy that it's even in the same conversation. But like for games that mean as much, like this game almost means as much to the Switch as those two do. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I like was saying before, about the continuity of the Switch. Like if you release a new console, like you have so much padding with games. Like, even if they do get like minor upreses or just texture packs or anything like that. I mean, you're talking you have Zelda, you have a Mario game, Kirby, Metroid, Mario Kart, and it's like those are like some of the main pillars of Nintendo. Like how can you go wrong?
Yeah. This
Yeah.
game actually made me go back and download a bunch of Kirby games on Wii U that are only available on Wii U now, like the DS games
Nice.
and stuff.
Mm.
And so I'm gonna play through those probably soon. But I also popped in the Super Mario Wii U. Or wait, is that what it was called? No, a Super Mario U. I've never beaten that one. And it's always like been like in the back of my head, like I need to beat that Mario game. So I'm gonna jump back into that, beat that, and then get back to those Kirby games. But anyway, if you didn't
Cool.
know, every single week, if you want to be on the show, all you have to do is leave a comment down below after the video goes up, not in the live comments, but in the actual comments section. And writing into us today is Dakota 308 says Wicca Wicca Fresh. So thank you, Dakota. Thanks for leaving.
Wicca fresh right back at you, my friend.
But I felt that right here.
Yeah, that was genuine.
And then
Art.
And then also we have Jonathan Drews, aka VG Mobster. Is it Mobster or Monster? He put Monster here, but I'm pretty sure
think
it's
it's
Mobster on
Mobster.
Twitter. He says, "Nice, Brent." He called me Brent. That was the first red
Nice.
flag.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the only red flag.
So like what makes this game so cool, it was from the lead designer on Final Fantasy IV, and like basically this game was just kind of him like letting his imagination go totally wild. Like he didn't say like, all right, I'm gonna make an RPG and like this is the genre I pick. No, he was like, I'm gonna make an RPG and I'm picking all the genres. And like it's like kind of like 8 different games in one. Like each one mechanically basically plays the same. There's like a specific unique kind of turn-based battle, but the stories themselves are like different like tones and like periods in history. So the dude on the screen, Pogo, he's like prehistoric. And in prehistoric times, there's no language, so it tells an entire story just through like body motions and like balloons with like no text in it, and like you're able to perfectly understand the story though, and it's really fun and it's like a comedy. But then in like the far future, you play a robot on this ship in outer space, and all of a sudden it becomes like Alien, and there's like horror vibes and stuff. And yeah, that dude, Cube. And there's like not even any real fights in it for the most part. It's just basically like the director being like, I'm gonna make my own version of Alien, and that's it. And that just becomes the video game for a while. So like, I'm really excited for people to see like how unique and weird this game is.
I think like from like the environments, it's insane how diverse the game looks. Like there's so many different types of environments and like settings in general. Like we're
Yeah.
getting stuff in like a Western and then like Japan and then like some random dojo, like prehistoric times. It looks insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really exciting. But I don't think anyone else is super excited for it except John, right?
The only one.
like,
I'm really excited for it. So
Okay,
it
cool.
looks, yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I hadn't heard of it until the direct, and I was still kind of like reeling from the Fire Emblem announcement.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And then like afterwards, I saw like a handful of my friends who knew what the game was, like losing their minds on Twitter. And I was like, okay, they have good taste in games. Maybe this really is worth checking out.
Yeah.
Do you?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll be quick. What's funny is I actually I missed the reveal. So like at Nintendo Enthusiast, like I was busy writing up some other story, and then in the Slack I saw Sato was like, oh, whoa, Live Alive. And like I was like busy finishing up this other story. I had the direct on mute so I could get the other story finished, and I see Sato's message, and I'm like 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 I just like I had like a system reset. I was like, oh my god. Like I flipped back to it and I saw these random images on the screen. I was like, oh my god, oh my god,
You're
oh my
just
god.
looking away the whole time.
Like,
Now,
like I just
do you
couldn't
know
believe
if from a writing perspective, like how the game will have aged, and do you think they're going to keep it the exact same? Like, I'm sure there's some inappropriate stuff. It was written in the 90s, right? Yeah. And
those were Randy times, the 90s.
I tend to
Yeah.
love Japanese things from the 90s because of how inappropriate they are. I'm a weird person, but I don't want them to change anything if there's some like crazy stuff in it, you know?
Yeah, like I mean, it's been a long time since I played the game, honestly, but like I don't remember anything too crazy that would require censorship exactly.
Okay.
Like the goofiest it gets is like there's like a whole chapter that's like straight up Street Fighter. Yeah, that what they just showed there. Like you pick different people to beat up, and it's like a big Street Fighter parody, and
Like
it's
real
awesome.
life
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, real life is like Street Fighter. So
at the Oscars.
like, but to the
Jesus.
bigger point though, like I do wonder, yeah, I do wonder if they'll expand on like the script at all because like I mean just taking into account the memory restrictions on Super Nintendo, like they never had the space to do what they really wanted. So
Yeah.
like this would be the director's chance to like go all out and like add some new stuff, like if not new scenarios, at least like a longer script. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to find out.
For sure. Next up on the list, we have Mario Strikers Battle League. This is one I'm really looking forward to. Definitely a day one buy for me. And it looks, I mean, like graphically, I think it looks really fun. It looks like the normal Mario Strikers gameplay. I'm hoping they expand on it a little bit because, like I had said previously, it was way too easy to get like a super shot and you could just spam it the entire game and just destroy anyone you're going against. I feel like that wouldn't like this has like online play and stuff, and I feel like that wouldn't translate well to the modern age of like online playing if you could just spam these like 100% like I'm gonna make it shots no matter what. I feel like that wouldn't work now, so I hope they change that up a bit. But aside from that, like Mario Strikers is still a blast, and I think everyone should play it, even if you go play like the GameCube or Wii version. It's like probably in my top 5 like favorite sports games. But yeah, Greg, are you excited for Mario Strikers?
I am not, but I mean, it looks
Oh,
fun. It might be a game that like I pick up down the road or something, but you know,
who here has played Strikers? Has anybody
No
other than
one,
Brett?
just me. Moving on. Let's go ahead and check out.
I think I own it too, which is sad.
You do?
Oh,
my
I
God.
mean,
Give
it
to
looks
me.
really
I
fun.
mean, it's probably somewhere
Yeah.
back there. I don't know.
Do you have it
It
on
does look
GameCube?
fun.
I think I have it on GameCube.
Give me that, man. I want that. I have a working GameCube finally.
No.
That's nice. The Mario sports game I'm always hoping for that we're never gonna get is Mario Wrestling.
That'd be
Like-
hilarious. Dude,
That
that'd
has
be one of the funniest
possibility.
games ever.
Right? Like you could have like chain chomps outside of the ring if somebody goes outside. Like there's so much potential there.
There definitely is. All the different crazy characters.
Yeah.
But since I'm the only one excited for that, we can go ahead and move on to the next one, which is Nintendo Switch Sports. This is another one that I think I'll actually pick up if Brett wants it as well. I would like spend half because we go halvesies on games. But
Yeah.
I really liked Wii Sports, and this game is like it's probably gonna be really fun with the family. So this is
My
one I'm
day one
excited
buy.
about. Greg, you're excited for this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that day one.
Oh my god! But not Strikers. Get the hell out.
I don't know. It's just like a little bit nostalgic to me, but also at the same time, like I like stupid games like that. You know that, like if I want to, not sit at my computer and play, and I don't want to play on my Xbox and play something competitive, like I can at least, maybe play it at home with some co-op or something like that, or even when I travel back to go see my parents. This is something I can take my Switch with me and my docking station and go play.
And you say to your parents, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm gonna kick your ass in this game."
Dude, my mom whoops my ass in bowling tennis, I don't know what it is, and like sometimes we'll like have like friendly matches where we'll watch Jeopardy and like guess the answers, and she smokes me in that too. I'm like,
It's such an
You
old
should-
person thing to do. We watch Jeopardy and we
Hell
go
yeah.
bowling on Wii Sports.
you know what,
I'm
King
older
Daddy
than
Dilf,
you,
shut
I
your
don't give
mouth.
you crap on that.
Every grandma in 2006, that was their life. Dude, I can't believe that Wii Sports is over 15 years old. God,
Yeah, that's nuts.
insane.
Yeah,
oh
somebody
my
said
God,
that.
we're getting old. Because like when you
Um,
said like it was nostalgic, I was like, how's it already? Oh, that was over 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's
Jesus
been a
Christ.
long time.
I saw a tweet last night that was like, I think it was Captain America Winter Soldier, or no, Civil War, released 8 years ago.
Oh my God,
Jeez,
That's not fair.
that's almost a decade ago.
man.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one and for the extra games that are coming, like the human Rocket League basically has like a giant ball. It's like
Yeah,
it's not soccer,
yeah,
but
that
it's
looks
not
cool.
Rocket League. It's like an
I didn't
in-between.
realize it was a thing again till watching this video just now.
Plus,
Yeah,
one of my favorite memories about the Wii Sports was the tennis. I think Greg talked about tennis, and this time they have badminton. So that looks really cool too. I don't know
Same
if any of
diff,
you guys
yeah.
ever played badminton, but me and my family used to set up badminton in our backyard and play that all the time. So that could be really fun playing badminton.
I have
Nice.
one badminton story. It was me and
Uh-oh.
Amanda.
Doesn't everyone?
Uh-oh.
Me and Amanda were like, hey, we're like, let's set up this and let's play. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so we buy the thing, we set it up, we get it all set up. She literally serves it to me, and I'm like at 100%. I'm gonna go get this thing. I go full speed to go get it, and I did not see the freaking kids slide was right there. And I legitimately hurt myself. I never played again after that start. I fell, and it was right next to the concrete, and there was like that one patch of concrete. Of course, it had to be there, and I slammed on the ground.
Oh,
And
jeez.
that's
Oh,
my only
dear.
badminton experience. It was about 2
Brett's got
seconds long.
PTSD from badminton now.
And I like how I went to go visit Brett, and we went to the skate park
Yeah.
only like a year ago, and our old bodies were falling all over the place there.
Yeah.
His
That was more than a
most
year ago.
damaging pain to his body has been through badminton.
I
He's
literally
been ruined for life.
yeah, I broke my penis that day. Moving on, let's get to
Wow.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Is anyone excited for these? Because I personally am kind of disappointed in how they're looking graphically. I thought Legends was a nice step forward, and I was like, okay, they got the mechanics down. This is a brand new great structure for Pokemon. Now just wait like another year or two and then give us another one. No, 8 months later, they're going to go ahead and give us a brand new Pokemon game that somehow has worse graphics than Pokemon Arceus. And I'm not saying graphics are everything, but when a Pokemon game is supposed to be engrossing, like you're in an actual Pokemon world, it at least needs to look better than a GameCube game in 2022, in my opinion. But either way, I'm going to buy it because I'm a moron, and I'm going to play it and probably enjoy it. So, Brett, where's your hype level for Pokemon?
You know how I feel about Pokemon. I don't play them. So unfortunately, I am not very hyped at all. I'm guessing I'm right along with a few of you others, at least a couple others on the show.
Brett, you're striking out, man.
Striking out? Which Brett?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Nobody's excited. Everybody hates.
You know what? I wish I was, and I still keep saying when we get to like a down time of the year, like between big releases, which maybe now, I'm gonna play Arceus Legends, and I'll probably like it. So maybe that'll be my introduction. But before now, I've never played him. So
Yeah, he's
unfortunately,
slightly
I have
out of that
about a zero.
that age group. My age like bracket, like a few years younger and a few years older, was like all so into Pokemon. But once you get like up there with the old men like Greg and Brett,
Yeah,
then
Jeez.
stop caring about Pokemon.
We're going hard on Greg tonight.
Well,
I
I
see you
feel like
guys
I
later.
just missed. I feel like I just missed that window. Like most people in my age group, I don't know like anyone in my age that's just as big into Pokemon.
I know
think
one
I'm
person
maybe-
who who was, but I think he was sort of into it because of me, and it was my brother, and he's I think a year older than you, or like the same age as you, Brett.
I think
I
you're
was
right
super
around
into
the same, yeah.
Pokemon, so he like played the games and had like Pokemon cards and stuff, and he was like, if I was 8, he was probably like 15 or something like that. So
Yeah.
older people were into it back then, but it wasn't like the cool thing to
Wasn't
be
his thing,
into
yeah.
Pokemon back then.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, it's perfectly normal for people 30 years old to be super into Pokemon, but back in the early 2000s,
Back
it
then,
was
you
not
just
cool.
weren't cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Oh, you like Pokemon? You probably like Power Rangers too.
exactly. Dude, I'll never
Power
forget.
Rangers, that was my jam, though.
Power
Yeah,
Rangers
Power Rangers
rules.
is good.
I will
that
never
was my
forget.
that was my thing.
Yeah.
Greg,
I remember
that
the first time I
reminded
saw
me.
it, I went to school and I was like, oh, did you guys see Power Rangers? And like the group I was talking to were like, you watch that shit? And I was just like,
You're like, no, that's so lame.
yeah, I'm gonna go
No.
sit in the bathroom stall now for the rest
Greg,
of the
that
semester.
that reminds me of I was like 10, 11 probably, and I still loved like action figures so much. And
Oh yeah.
and I went over to like my neighbor's house, who was much younger than me, like 4 years younger, but like we would still play action figures together. And then someone my age who lived down the street came over as well, and he was like, "You guys still play with action figures?" And I was like, "What? It's not normal anymore." And I never played with them ever again.
Oh man.
Like I literally stopped that day because I was like, okay, I guess I am getting too old for this.
And that
Today
was
we're
the
just
then,
learning about all the traumatic events in Brett's life to date.
That was the second
Exactly.
time Brett broke his penis.
No, dude, the second time.
That was the
Do you
first
remember
time.
do you remember the thing at the swimming parks that like is the bowl that you go down the slide and then you go in the circle in the bowl? Do you remember those things? That was the second time I broke my penis because I stood up like I was surfing around it.
The
And then
only
right
thing you're
at the
not
end-
supposed to do.
Yeah, you're not supposed to stand up, but we did every time, and I slammed right on the edge, like right on the rim, like a basketball hoop.
Oof.
Like I slammed my entire body on it,
That
and
was terrible.
I ran to the bathroom.
Medical
'cause
miracle.
I ran to the bathroom, and I genuinely thought my penis was broken off. But this is gonna get demonetized so quickly.
Like,
Well, if you show like video evidence of it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, right here I have some pictures. Now, but,
is that an
My-
old Audi belly button?
exactly.
It became an innie.
It became an innie that day. That was the day I lost 4 inches.
That's all I have.
Yeah. I was going for that joke if you didn't do it, Greg.
That was the day I became a scared turtle. But, now back to the video game. If anyone has any more broken penises jokes, now's the time. Now's the time to tell them. Okay, Pokemon Scarlet sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm gonna get it. Like obviously, I don't really miss Pokemon games anymore. But this next one I probably will skip unless there's like a single player component that's reviewed very well, and in that game is Splatoon 3. Now, no, I have a feeling nobody's hyped for this, so let's just go ahead and skip it. Actually, Mary, are you hyped?
Like, I've played a little bit of the other Splatoon games, but like I don't have a lot of friends to play them with, and I've only played them like in a multiplayer setting, so I have no desire to play them by myself. But now I know a lot more people who play Splatoon and who are excited for Splatoon 3. So I'm like, okay, like maybe like I'll have people to like play it with more frequently. So I'll consider it. I'm not completely against it.
I'm just kind of
now.
confused as to what it is.
Splatoon, it's like that old Tony Hawk game where you did tricks on the ramps and tried to color more ramps than the other
Yeah.
person.
But no, I meant specifically Splatoon 3. I know what Splatoon is.
I think it's
didn't
the
like it when I
same,
first
except
played it.
Splatoon in the desert.
I had heard that they're doing more of a single player element to this.
Yeah.
You might remember that Splatoon
Mhm.
2 actually got single player DLC that was it reviewed pretty well, and it looked like a pretty expansive single player component for being DLC. That always interested me, but I didn't want to have to buy the base game to play that campaign, so that's why I never did.
I tried to get into it so many times. It never did the trick for me.
Yeah, it's not really my bag either. So yeah, nobody's excited for Splatoon, but this next one, I think Mary might be excited. I'm not sure. John, maybe, probably just me once again. And is Nintendo's big holiday game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. John,
Ah.
where's your hype level?
So we've talked about how like I thought the second one was just like boring, and I spent the entire time waiting to enjoy it, and it didn't happen. But I think on the announcement trailer for this game just looked better to me in general than like everything I saw from the second game. So I'm like more hopeful this time. Like I like how everyone's like arguing with each other, because at least like all right, so there's conflict right away. Everyone's angry about something. Like maybe the story will go somewhere interesting. So like I will probably get this, and then I'll just find out after the fact if I wasted my money.
Yep. I'm really excited for this one. I like how serious it looks. Looks like they're going to be doing a lot of like emotional stuff with the characters,
Yeah.
and that seems really cool. I really love this series now. I got into it like ever since the Switch came out. I got into it with Xenoblade 2 and 1, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It looks very intriguing. Looks pretty. I wouldn't say it looks like a lot better than the previous games. I think it looks about the same. Um, and I hope that the combat is a little different. Like I hope they mix it up and change it, because I never really liked the combat of any of the games, but I love everything else. So it's kind of a weird, I don't know. I guess a weird love hate thing with this series. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. Brett, Greg, Mary, anybody excited?
I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those game series that like people tell me that like I would like it. I've had a lot of people be like, you need to try it, you need to get into it, you need to like, you would really like this game. And so now I'm kind of like, okay, do I have to play 2 before 3 comes out? Can I just dive right into 3? Because then I'll have to make time to play 2 before 3, and it's not a short game from what I've heard.
So
So,
did you play one?
I haven't played any
Oh,
of
okay.
them.
I think
I
it's
I I think one's a lot better than two personally, but
Okay.
like apparently three is somehow going to like tie together the stories of one and two, which like in two they kind of reveal that the games are kind of sort of related, but
Hmm.
you can play one and like it has like zero effect on the other. So like
Okay.
yeah.
my
I mean,
guess is that you're going to be able to go into three and just enjoy it for what it is, because like I bet it'll be like one of those games where like you get to like the third act and finally you're seeing how it kind of pertains to the previous games. Like
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. With the other two games, you definitely did not need to play the other ones. Like even though
yeah,
there was like references and stuff, I think this one would probably be the same way. You could probably jump in with this one and just enjoy
Okay.
it.
What
And
is
yeah.
the first one?
what?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, that's the first one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Sick. Yeah, side note, I'm super excited about this one.
it came out on Wii like a million years ago, and then it actually
Mhm.
got a new 3DS port. It was a new
oh
3DS
yeah, I forgot
Oh
exclusive.
about
yeah,
that
I
one.
remember
Yeah,
that.
right. I think there was only like one or two other like new 3DS exclusives, but that
It
was one of
ran
them.
it
Wasn't
ran
it?
at a brisk 10 frames per second.
Oof.
Wasn't that the
Yes.
first one to use the new 3DS nub?
I thought Majora's
I don't
Mask was the
remember.
first one like that launched with that nub.
I thought
I don't
Majora's
know.
Mask came after.
I don't remember.
Maybe you're right.
Wait, I think
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I can't
But
remember
yeah,
either.
that game is great. But I recommend the Switch version, not the
Yeah.
3DS version.
Yeah.
They really went in and enhanced a lot of stuff in the Switch version. It's basically like a remake, a, a remakester. Instead of a remaster or a remake,
Sure.
it's like a somewhere in the middle. It's not like a full remake, but it's definitely more
Yeah.
than a remaster. It's not just like an upres or anything. They redid a bunch of
Yeah.
character models. They added a bunch of quality of life stuff.
Yeah. Although it's funny because like all of the character models got like I mean all the main characters got brand new character models that look Switch worthy, and then the regular NPCs they just kind of prettied up the Wii models.
Yeah, they look terrible. Yeah, it's
Like
pretty fun.
honestly, like I didn't actually mind it that much. I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. But I remember a lot of reviews were like, this is very weird.
Yeah, it was a little jarring, but you see the main characters the most.
Yeah.
And the character models for the main characters, they did insanely good in my opinion. Like they look great.
They look very pretty. Yes, I agree.
I just wish the game was at a slightly higher resolution because it is a pretty blurry game, both of them, Xenoblade 2 and 1.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that one, and that was the last one on the list, aside from a few third-party games that don't look interesting enough to talk about. So let's.
Poor Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh wait, I forgot about that one. Oh, yeah, what, I missed those two at the top.
It's the two
Bayonetta
biggest
3.
ones.
Yeah, you did.
Skipped right over Bayonetta.
Bayonetta 3 is maybe this year. I don't know. That's definitely like probably
Supposed
my
to be.
most anticipated Switch game, to be honest. More so than Breath of the Wild 2 and
Wow.
and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm super excited for this going
Wow.
for Bayonetta. But yeah, I don't know if it's coming this year, but where's your guys' hype levels with Bayonetta?
I'm just waiting for it to get delayed too. I mean, honestly, I'm just waiting for that big old fat delay till 2023.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it first, but I was like, I feel like it might get delayed.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
It's been
just
so
haven't seen
long.
enough of it. I know it's still early this year, so there's a good chance it still comes out. But man, for it being April already, and we've only seen like that one like long extensive gameplay video.
This was the
So,
first
I don't
time
know,
we
man.
ever saw the game.
Right.
Yeah,
like
like
it'd been
4
talked
years
about,
after it got
teased
announced.
and all that for so long. Then they finally showed that video and it looked great, but that's all we've seen. And that was last E3. Isn't that E3?
I think it was like almost a year ago.
Or was
Probably.
that a direct? I swear that was E3
Yeah, I don't
of
remember. No,
last
you
year,
could be right.
meaning that would have been June of 2021, if I remember right.
That
So
sounds right.
if
I
that's the
think you're
case.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, that's been almost a year since then, and that's still all we've seen. So it's got all the writings on the wall of a delay. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I hope it comes out this year, because aside from
Apparently,
Kirby,
I'm sorry. Apparently, it was shown at the September Direct.
Oh, okay.
okay, so it
Go
wasn't.
ahead. Continue.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay, so but even then, that's 7 months later, and we still haven't heard or seen anything else on it. So, but I mean, aside from Kirby, this definitely could be their biggest game this year, and by all means should be. So, I mean, as a Switch owner, I sure as hell hope it does come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if we look at the quality too of games like Kirby, that I think I like whenever Nintendo delays something, I never feel like, oh, it's gonna suck, or oh, it's gonna release and it's gonna bomb. Like it's for like quality assurance. They're doing extra testing or making sure the game runs fluidly, or if they have to, even like Kirby, there's enemies in the distance that the animations are running at like 20 FPS, but that's just so the rest of the game plays fluidly. And I feel like even in the case for Bayonetta, whatever the delay looks like, it's only for to have the final product release in the form that Nintendo wants it to. So I'm optimistic about it, even if it does get delayed, but I'm hyped for it.
I sure hope for Platinum's sake it comes out this
Oh my
year,
God.
because they
Platinum, we
haven't
need to win.
exactly been on the best of terms in the gaming industry with the shit show that was Babylon's Fall.
I was just about to say,
I
what the
mean,
hell is that game's name? I already forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to look it up. But I mean, this could be the game that kind of digs them out of the ditch that they've dug for themselves. And
They've got plenty of money.
Yeah, they're not
they've got
hurting.
money, but they're in
They've
a
got
they're on a
10-cent
bad
backing.
Yeah.
yeah, but
but
they're
they're
on a
not
bad
owned by Tim.
trajectory right now, and let's be honest, like this is the game that they need to like get back on top. Not that they were ever on top, but you know what I mean. Like they've had some great games and they've had some subpar games, and this
Yeah,
is
they really do
back in a good
vacillate.
light for sure.
That's the thing with Platinum is they have some like amazing
Amazing
games.
games.
Like
Yep.
games that are
Mhm.
known for being like
Bayonetta 2.
genre-defining and stuff. Yeah, like
Bayonetta 2,
And then-
Astral Chain was amazing. I loved Astral Chain.
yeah, a Nier Automata, like games that have
Nier
like
games, yep.
huge following that are like super beloved, and then they put out a game like Babylon's Fall, and then like all of those
Just a mess.
random games that they did, like what was that one? I mean, they did like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Legend of Korra. Those were all like mostly misses. Like, there's probably some fun to be had with those, but they were not received great. And like,
I was super disappointed with Ninja Turtles as well too. It was like visually it looked
Yeah.
awesome, but the
Yep.
world was just empty, and it was like a weird kind of boss rush game with
Yep.
like
Oh.
minor exploration elements.
The
Transformers was
trailer for
decent.
that looked so cool, and I remember me and a friend at work at the time when the trailers were coming out, we were like, "Dude, this is going to be awesome." Because
Yeah.
we both were big Ninja Turtle fans growing up, and then it came out, and we're like, "Oh, so that wasn't good after all." I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was
it
going to
really
ask
seems
about
like
sales numbers for Babylon's Fall.
Dude,
they're
apparently,
abysmal.
apparently they made an announcement saying that they plan to keep supporting the game.
Right?
With
They said it's
60
not
people
going anywhere.
playing.
Yeah.
How
many?
is that possible? There's probably
You
like
shouldn't-
60 people playing right now on
I
Steam.
heard the numbers for how many concurrent players are playing, and it was abysmal. But let me see if I can
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the
But-
number was. Because I think we talked about it a couple episodes
Yeah.
ago on the
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Snapchat
up-
show.
What the current
The last 30 days were 224 average.
oh my god.
It
Just
peaked,
a bunch of
it peaked
bots.
at just over 1,000. That is fucking
It
terrible.
peaked at 1,000.
Oh my lord.
Like
Damn.
I want to guess the game sold fewer than 10,000 copies.
That's
Like
just
that is ridiculous.
that is a kick right in the nuts. Like that's got all that time and that hard work they put into it, and there's 224 people playing.
But
on
maybe
Xbox.
maybe they didn't work that hard on it.
That's true. That is a good point.
That's the
yeah.
thing with Platinum. It seems like they have the games that they really care about that are actually
Yeah.
amazing, and then they have the games that they just do for a check from some publisher that they don't
Yeah.
really put much effort into. And I don't. That's why with a game like what was it called, Dragon Scale or Scalebound?
Scalebound, yeah.
With
If you're wondering
Scalebound-
what that game would have looked like if it had come out, it would look like
It would
Babylon's
have been
Fall.
Babylon's fault.
it looked better than Babylon's Fall, I thought. But like
Yeah.
that was a game that was like a weird middle ground where it's like it looked like they cared about it, but they were also at the same time making Nier Automata and like some other game that probably Astral Chain that like reviewed super well. So I kind of understand why Microsoft was like, you guys are taking too long and you got so many of your staff on other projects. So we're done. Like we're not going to keep funding this game unless you get it out the door. And that's why they're like, so we're not doing this.
I wonder what their studio's like, the culture at Platinum.
I mean,
I
the
don't know.
last 2 years they opened
just
up
a
like a
bunch of
whole
dudes
like, other
smoking weed.
studio. Like they're expanding a lot, and like it sounds like they have these big lofty plans, and they keep talking about how they want to do more live service and they want to do other genres. They don't want to just be the action game people, and like if you're batting if you're only batting 500 for your action games, like maybe you shouldn't be diversifying this much.
Hey, I don't
Yeah.
know. You could say the same thing about Gorilla, and they produced Horizon and hit it out of the park. You know, that was very different from
Yeah,
the games that they
yeah.
made before.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how
I
many
mean-
games are they making right now? They're making like one at a time, more or less.
Pretty much one
with
at a
like
time.
the
I think
biggest
that's John's
budgets in the
point.
industry.
Is they're trying to do too many things at once, and they need to just focus on one or two things. I do
Yeah.
agree with that sentiment for sure.
Maybe they're just a
Yeah,
bunch of stoners.
The old
That's what I'm saying. It's just a bunch of dudes smoking weed. Like, let's make a game, bro.
Hey, we got to push out this Babylon's Fall. Yeah,
Ah,
just release it.
that stupid American company, Microsoft. All right. But yeah, I had heard that one of the designers at Platinum left, but he said that a lot of the stuff that he did in Scalebound, he actually sees in Bayonetta 3, like the controlling the monster part where she's like punching and the monsters hitting at the same time. So I don't know. I think that's kind of cool that they're at least reusing those, like all those gameplay elements that they were going to use in Scalebound. So the game, in
Yeah.
some
That
form, the
does
game
look
is kind of living on through Bayonetta 3, it seems.
That's cool.
And even the color palette for the dragon, like that greenish bluish color, looks very similar to Scalebound stuff, like the art
Yeah.
and everything.
Mhm. Yeah, I get that vibe.
But yeah, I think Bayonetta 3 looks awesome. All the set pieces are probably going to be amazing. And that's it for the year of Nintendo's exclusives. Now,
And we
does anyone?
continue to skip Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh my God, that's not going on.
He does not want to talk about Mario plus
Just
Rabbids.
say you hate
I
it,
have
Brett.
to
You're
play
not
the
hyped at
first
all.
one still.
Just tell us all, Brett. Just tell us all you hate Mario and
I
Rabbids.
actually just recently bought the first game in the series because it was really cheap. So I was like, I might as well.
It's always on sale. Like
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
on sale.
It's like one of the only Nintendo exclusives that's ever on sale.
Yeah,
It's
because it's
that's-
Ubisoft.
yeah,
I
exactly.
see it on sale at like Target and Walmart's too, like pretty
Yeah.
often.
Like if you spend more than $20 at most, you've been ripped off.
Yeah. But I hear great things about this game. But I looked up like the how long to beat, and I was like, man, why is it that long? And I don't remember what it was now, but I remember like thinking the game looks great, but I don't know if it looks like 30 hours great, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard like it's like really hard. Like even if you play it on easy, it's
Yeah,
hard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
that's
Like
what
I
I
don't,
heard.
I don't want to be
That's kind of
bothered
a
with
turn
that.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
kind of a
definitely
turn
play
off for
on
me.
easy because I'm not great
I'm
at
not
those games.
much of a fan of that genre of like the strategy. Like it can
Mm.
be fun, but not 30 hours and not like I'm banging my head against the wall fun. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna struggle like with difficulty, it better be something else that I can kind of have. I feel like with games like Horizon, for example, I have a little bit of control over because I can run around, I can roll. But with a game like this, it's purely strategy driven. You're like, okay, what the hell am I doing wrong? Why do I keep losing in 10 turns or whatever, you know? So that to me is more frustrating.
Well,
So
Sure.
that Metal Slug game is gonna be in the same type of
Oh, I
genre.
forgot all about that.
Yeah, Metal
Yeah.
Slug
oh
Tactics.
yeah, that's right.
Gears Tactics, I was having fun with. I just haven't gotten back to it, but that was like the one launch game for Series X, and I put in like probably like 4 or 5 hours. And it's like very similar to Mario Rabbids, and it's like this third person shooter, but a tactics game. It's well, it's not a third person shooter, but like the characters shoot in third person. Never mind. Anyway, I'm not super into tactics games, but there are a few that I definitely want to get to, like Gears Tactics. I
XCOM?
want to get back to that. I want to play Final Fantasy Tactics and
Yeah.
these Mario Rabbids games.
Oh, and that what's it called? Forgot about it because it was delayed. That Midnight Suns game looks pretty cool.
That does look cool.
Oh yeah.
Which
That
one's
does
that
look
one?
cool. Yeah.
The element of that game that intrigues me is the fact that it looks like it's like very story driven, and
Right.
that studio hasn't really done much story stuff with XCOM, so that's interesting that they're sort of changing that because they're writing dialogue, they have cutscenes, they have like relationships that you can do, not like
Mm.
not like romantic relationships. Apparently that's not allowed, but like character
Yeah.
relationships. So that's interesting to me. That's probably the most interesting part, like the hub area where you can actually get to know all the superheroes and stuff.
Yeah. And what's funny is when they first announced that it was going to be card based, like everyone collectively was like, "Ugh."
No card.
And I was absolutely part of that. But then like
Yeah.
I watched like one of their like like an extended video. It's like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or something. Like I actually watched it all and I was like, oh, all right, yeah, like this does actually look like fun. So
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic again about it.
Give me more Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah,
Right.
I would definitely
Well,
take another Ultimate Alliance.
an indie dev just announced a game called Superfuse that looks like a lot like X-Men Legends. And I've heard it
Mm.
plays a little like Diablo, but like it looks just like X-Men Legends, but on
Nice.
modern hardware. Yeah, so something to keep an eye on.
And for the Mario Sparks of Hope section, we talked about every other game. Now let's get to the next part. So I want to talk about what we're playing. I guess let's first toss it to Mary. Mary, what have you been playing?
Kirby.
Oh, yeah.
But also I did make a little bit of time for some more Forbidden West, and I hit a pretty solid plot point, and I have like this newfound sense of motivation to like really like play through the story. So like I'm glad that like I didn't completely put it down. I'm like, okay, now I have something to look forward to. Like once I wrap up Kirby, I can go back into Forbidden West and find out what's gonna happen next. And then I'm still playing Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. It's getting intense. I'm
Like
in
the story
part
or the
3.
combat?
Both. Like
Oh, okay.
it's the story is really starting to pick up. Lots of like characters like from Path of Radiance are back, and it's like, okay, like there's this happening, there's that happening. You're starting to get the feeling that something fishy's going on. I don't know what. And then yeah, the combat. I'm having to really think like about, we were just talking about like strategy games. I'm like, okay, I can't like how am I gonna like position my units? Like I had the option to like go around, or do I want to go through the water? And then I got my units cornered at one point for like 5 turns. And it was a struggle to get them out of that corner. So that's what I'm
Nice.
playing.
That's awesome. I definitely want to get back to some of the older Fire Emblem games at some point. Of course, it's just this endless backlog that I have, and I guess I'll just say what I'm playing. a game on my backlog I've been playing. I put down Horizon Forbidden West for now. I'll get back to it, Brett. And I even pushed aside GTA 5
you
with
won't.
that I was really enjoying because the past like 5 days now, I've put like 3 hours into The Witcher 2 every single day. Like I played for 3 hours every
Nice.
single day. So I'm in the final chapter and I'm loving it. The story's good. The characters are good. It's probably going to be on like my top, like I have a list on this app called GG that I put all my favorite games in. It's probably going to go in that list because it's just really great. Like the writing feels like it's a totally different writing team than what CDPR has now. Like something about it, like how raw it is and how I don't give a fuck it is. Like they'll just say the most like crazy shit in the game, and I love that. And I didn't really get that much of that from Cyberpunk. But this is a totally different world, and maybe I just don't remember The Witcher 3 all that much. But I really love the writing of this game, and I just love that I'm able to play this game still because this is a 360 game, and I can play it on my Series X, and it like enhances the game and at a higher resolution with like great performance, and it doesn't look anything like or it doesn't run anything like how it did back in the day because it did get a lot of criticisms back on 360, but on Series X it runs and looks great. I love it. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, and I will hopefully beat it by the next episode. But then again, I'm probably not going to be on the next episode because I'll be out of town. So I'll definitely will have beaten it by the time I'm back on this show. But John, thank you for putting this in my brain and making me go back to play this because I had set it down for some reason like 6 months ago, I want to say, because I was really into it. And then something came out and I stopped and then I just never got back to it. Actually, I was probably feeling a little fatigued because I played through all of Dragon Age 1 and 2 like 6 months
Oh,
ago.
sure.
And then I started this and I was really loving it. But then I was like, okay, I sort of had enough of this style of game because they have a similar feel in terms of all the dialogue and the settings and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I'm back into it. I'm loving it. And I definitely think I miss this type of structure. Sorry, I'm rambling, but this structure of game is like, it's like the old days where like everything didn't have to be open world. This is just, it still feels like a very grand world, but I don't have to go walking and holding forward on the stick for 3 hours to get to the next spot. It's just, you're in the next spot and the story's continuing and then there's combat and there's still pretty environments. And it just sucks that this age, like this style of game probably isn't going to exist like ever again. Like where a AAA game could just have these linear environments that are straight to the point. You don't have to have this massive open world to have an amazing game that actually feels like just large in scope, but maybe not like literally large. But I still feel like I'm part of a large world and a large like I don't know, just like all the lore and stuff. It's just all so good. So The Witcher 2 is awesome so far, and The Witcher is awesome in general. And now I want to go watch the Netflix series because I still haven't watched season 2.
Oh, really? Season 2 is pretty
Either.
good.
I still watched season 2 also.
I
liked season 1 a lot. I just haven't gotten around to season 2 yet. I just finished Upload season 2, which I thought was pretty good. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that, but next is The Witcher, and then Brett. I promise I'm going back to C after that.
At some point.
So yeah, Brett. Speaking of Brett, what are you playing?
So it's been kind of an off week for me, like as far as playing games. I finished Kirby before our last show last week, and then it was my son's birthday. So there's like a few days where I didn't really play much. But for his birthday, it was between him getting a basketball hoop and a VR. So we ended up getting him the Oculus Quest VR because I live in Arizona and summer's coming and it's like 115, 120 here in the summer. So basketball hoop probably wouldn't get used all that much in the next, few months before Christmas. So, but yeah, it's been cool setting that up for him. That's actually the first time I've sat down and like used a legit VR, except for like the ones at like the arcades or something like that. So it was cool setting up my account and playing like a couple free games. And then we downloaded Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which is really good. It's funny because the graphics are terrible. Like I'm talking like Nintendo GameCube or worse graphics. But you're so sucked into the world and like being in it and like looking around and stuff. Like you don't even think about the graphics being good or bad. Like you're just in that world and it's really cool that way. I didn't play a lot, probably like an hour or two. but it's really cool how much it like pulls you in, and it's like it just looking down at your hands and like turning your arms and stuff. It's pretty wild. But like going up to a zombie that's coming towards you and grabbing it with one hand and like taking your knife and stabbing it, and then you have to like pull back to pull the knife back out of its head. I was like, this is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's been fun. And then last night I started a game I downloaded about a week ago called Anno Mutationum. It's a game we saw a trailer of. It's like a 2D, 2.5D like RPG elements game, but it's like a pixel graphic style game, but it's got really bright and vibrant colors in it too. Like it's very pretty.
Yeah,
So I
it
don't
looks
really
pretty.
know much about how to describe it other than just go look at the trailer. It's really cool. So I started that last night and only played about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, but I can already tell that's going to be something I'll definitely get into as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, those visuals look really cool. I've never really
Yeah, it's really
I've
pretty.
heard of this, but I haven't really looked at it before.
Yeah. There's a part when you're in her apartment, no spoilers, of course, but she opens. There's you press R1 to open the blinds. She opens the blinds and like the light comes in. You're like, holy shit! I was not expecting it to look like that. It's really pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, I really love what these studios have been like able to do by implementing 3D lighting and all that stuff with like 2D animations, like with the
Yeah.
HD 2D stuff. And there's a few upcoming games that like look amazing. Like there's one called The Last Night that's been like gone forever now, but it looked amazing. But then there's also that recent Xbox one that does like a 2D but super detailed, like highly detailed with like crazy animations. What was the name of that, Brett? Do you remember?
Anno, I just sent
No,
it to Eric.
no.
But
I was
Oh.
talking about the Xbox game that has like that 2D art style that's stunning.
It is, gosh, the one that I loved, the Artful Escape.
No,
one?
never mind. It's an upcoming game that looks like it would be done by the Limbo team, but it's not.
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I know
I
what you're talking about
forget its
too.
name.
It's on the
It
tip
has
of my.
Oh,
It has like a
I'll look
name,
for
like
it.
a name of
It's
a
like one
town.
word. It's one word.
Yeah,
I
it's like,
thought.
yep. And
You
this is
said
gonna
it
drive me
looks
nuts
like
because I
Limbo?
really want to play this game.
like the black and white one. You said it looks like Limbo, or
Yep.
The style of it, but
It's like
not
the name of
black
a
and
town.
white.
Oh,
It's the
this
name
is
of a
tearing us
town.
apart now. Yeah,
It
we
is.
all know what we're talking about, but we don't know the name.
Xbox upcoming indie.
might be thinking of a different game.
Looks like a Play Dead game.
Somerville.
Oh yeah,
There
I
we
was
go.
not thinking of that one.
That's what it
Okay.
is. We're right. It was one word and it was a
I
town.
am disappointed in myself because I really want to play that game because it has some of the ex devs from Playdead, and I love Playdead's games. So I'm actually disappointed I couldn't think of that game.
There's also that other one that also looks really good that has like a similar vibe. That's also an Xbox like their ID at Xbox funded game, but I can't remember the name of it. But it was also like a really short name.
Let's
John,
call
do you
it
remember?
let's call it Winterberg.
Winterberg, Somerville, and Winterberg.
It's not Stella.
What?
It's not Stella. That's not the
No.
one you're talking about.
It's one word as well. I think. What is that? Now I'm gonna be thinking of this one.
I don't
But,
know.
Is it Wordle?
No, it's not Wordle.
Fuck.
Shut up, Greg.
But sometimes I forget the show is live. Like honestly.
Yeah,
But yeah, what were we talking about before that?
I guess Stella already came out.
Oh yeah, now it's John's turn. I mean, not John's turn. Oh, wait, did you? Yeah. No.
But
Yeah,
John
it's
didn't
John's
go.
turn to tell
Could
us
be.
what he's
We
playing.
feel like it. All right. Yeah, I've continued playing Yakuza 3. I'm back on my stuff. So it's funny, like, so I'm playing them relatively chronologically, and the chronology doesn't really match when these games actually released. So like Yakuza Kiwami 2 is like this really beautiful game, and then going backwards to the remaster of Yakuza 3, all of a sudden the graphics are kind of like it looks like they cleaned up a PlayStation 3 game, because that's what it is. They cleaned up a PlayStation 3 game. And so like there's like, I wouldn't describe it as janky, but just like charming leftover elements of like the PlayStation 3 era are there. So like your main character has like this default strut, and that's how he walks places, and like it's, I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. But in this game, he's like, well, he's always like the baddest dude on earth, but now you also run an orphanage. So like the first like third of the game was me just
So
like
random.
helping children with their emotional problems and their relationships. Yeah. So like normally I'd be like, why is the game wasting my time like this? But since it's Yakuza, I'm like, yes, this is great. I am helping this girl learn that all races are equal, and now she wants to be very close with this black boy.
And in
It's
10 years,
great.
he'll be her pimp.
And we just lost monetization again.
It's Yakuza we're talking about. That it's an appropriate
Right.
joke for because it's Yakuza anyway.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff going on in these games. But I don't know, I mean for the most part, yeah, that's really all I've been playing. Last week I previewed the Switch version of 13 Sentinels, which is that it's a real-time strategy game / visual novel hybrid, and I don't care about either one of those genres, but the game's spectacular.
Yeah,
It
I've been
came
wanting to
out
play this.
Yeah, it came out on PlayStation 4 in 2020. It was like basically the cult hit of the year. Like it went on
Yeah.
to sell like 500,000 units, which for being on just one console and being like an obscure game is like actually really good. But I'm hoping that now that it's about to hit Switch, hopefully it'll sell like I'm hoping it'll get over 1,000,000, which it really deserves. It's like
Yeah,
this
it'll probably do
art's
pretty
awesome.
well.
so
Yeah, I've definitely had my eye on that game and like almost bought it a couple times. So glad
I bought
waited
it,
out until
so
the Switch.
you have
Wait,
it,
you
Brett.
have it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I bought it
damn.
for like $40 because I was like, oh, cool, a sale. And then I ended up never even playing it. Now I see it for like $10 all the time.
Well, that's
I
awesome.
bought it
I'll
on
for
sale,
sure
yeah.
play it then.
But
But
I mean, yeah, if you haven't gotten it already, like definitely get it on Switch because like what I previewed, like it felt like exactly the same as the PS4 version. So you might as well buy the one that's portable.
yeah.
For
I
sure.
already bought it, so I'm
And
just gonna play it on the
yeah,
thing I bought it
right.
for. But
Like the sci-fi mystery in it is just so good. Like every time you think you're figuring out what the heck is going on in this weird game, it turns out like there's this whole new layer to it that you didn't know about yet.
yeah, I'm gonna say something that's gonna make me sound like a total BS and idiot. All right, but Vanillaware, the studio behind this game, is legitimately like probably one of my favorite studios ever. Like I loved their 3 previous games with Odin Sphere, Muramasa, and Dragon's Crown.
Damn,
And
I forgot about Miramasa.
I've had my eye on this game forever, and I bought it not long after launch for like $20 off. And then I just never
played
got to it. And I swear it's insane that I haven't played it because I literally love, especially Odin Sphere and Muramasa. Like those are like 10 out of 10 games in my opinion. And this was just so different.
Really?
Like it's not an action game, so that kind of turned me off. It's a strategy game, but it's like, and the other games weren't really necessarily. I mean, Odin Sphere was pretty story focused, but they weren't really great because of their story. And I hear this one's actually great because of the story. So that's just so weird to me that it's from the same team and it's a totally different style of game, way more focused on story. And I'm going to get to it this year. At some point, I'm going to get to it.
It's on the record now.
Yep.
The record.
Brett, sorry, I'm not watching C. I'm going to play this game instead.
There's so many things he has to apologize to me about because when he tells me to play or watch something, I do that.
No,
and then I tell him to play or watch something, and he doesn't do that.
Where's that Arkham Origins completed? You haven't played Arkham Origins, you bastard.
I do need to finish that.
Oh yeah,
That's how you really feel.
The game I was trying to think of earlier is Replaced. That's the indie game that looks really beautiful.
Yes, that looks incredible too.
It got revealed at the same time as Somerville, and they both were like incredibly looking indies.
Yeah, Replaced looks awesome. You're right. I always forget about that game until like it gets brought up.
Yeah, there it is on screen. It's just so stunning.
Looks amazing. Yeah.
That looks
I can't
dope.
wait for that.
But yeah, did we ask everyone what they're playing now? Or no, Greg. Greg, what are you playing?
He's playing Apex Legends. We're done.
You know what, John? So what if I am? I actually booted up The Witcher 3 because I never played any of The Witcher, so I jumped into that a little bit. Yeah, I like the combat a lot. I just started getting into it. And,
John, he said, well, somebody's got it.
I like how it runs on my PC too, and you know, it's just I I don't know. I think I'm gonna start chipping away at it slowly. I think it's gonna take the place of Kirby when Kirby's gone, RIP, because I've been playing that as well too. I think I'm finally towards the end of Kirby, and we talked about so much of it, and but I don't know. I just find myself wanting to go back and play it more. I think I'll probably end up pushing to beat it 100%. So going back and
Wow.
doing all challenge levels. I surprisingly I've done quite a few of the challenge missions, but um, not all of them have I got like the highest rating or beat whatever the designated time was.
Mhm.
But a lot of them I have. So um, there's a couple that I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to shave off 3 seconds when I'm already stressed out? Or like some of the rolly ball ones where you have to hit other enemies to keep rolling.
Mhm.
Like my thumb is constantly like falling off my thumbstick, and I'm like holding it with like my palm in my hand like this, and I'm just like,
Still
why is there
going.
no more room? Yeah.
You're like at your elbow.
But no, I love the game, having a blast. And then Apex Legends did have a rank split, so whatever rank you were at, they cut it in half, and you have to grind your way back up again. So I just booted it up a little bit today, playing through the rank split, and then a little bit of Rocket League. I've kind of dialed back on both of them since Kirby came out, which is kind of funny because I never thought anything would pull my attention away from my two most prized possessions, but it has. Oh, and then last thing, we haven't started it yet, but I'm going to start the Lego Skywalker saga today, hopefully.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been
Nice.
really
I think
interested
I'm
in
gonna
that.
grab that too.
Oh,
Yeah, me and my fiance are gonna push through and hopefully stream our play together.
Is
On
it
it. So.
co-op like completely?
It's not, but Steam has the I forget what it's called every single time. The like where you can play together.
Mm, I
it
don't know.
like it what it
Co-op?
like it's like programmed to make it like think the other player's in the room with you. You mean?
Yeah, remote play together. So
Okay.
yeah, so she's gonna have it on her PC, and then I'll have it on mine, and then we'll remote play together, and then
That's cool.
stream it.
Yeah.
It looks really awesome, and like I heard
Yeah.
it's really funny, and I heard the graphics are like way better than they need to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I also saw it was running at like 30 FPS on the Switch. So
We might have to
is it?
split this one, Brett. I don't know if you're down or not. Like you said, we split our game, so I don't know if he's down, but
I might be after my vacation
might-
next week.
fair enough. Fair enough.
So I see how we're doing with money.
I might just get it anyways, and then because I'm definitely gonna want to play it.
Yeah. So wait, it's not. I was sort of confused by your explanation. So the game isn't co-op, but
The
you're-
game is
It-
co-op.
it-
There's
It's,
not
it's
online.
couch co-op,
yeah, there's couch co-op.
and they
on it.
want to play in
Okay.
different rooms. Is basically what you're saying,
okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense. That's
That's
kind
what-
of weird
that's what
that there's
confused. I
not
was like,
online co-op.
You mean?
Yeah, I don't
co-op?
know why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because I
Maybe
would
it was
definitely
too
play
big of a
through it
game or
with
something?
Brett. Like
Yeah.
what?
I was gonna say maybe that was like an afterthought because it was like too big of a game, maybe. But like
I don't know. It seems incredibly ambitious. Like you can play as over like 300 characters, and
What?
there's like
You know
real
that.
combat, like DMC style combat. There's third person shooting. Like it's insane how much work they put into this one.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah, that's
9
something-
movies.
I've never understood that about Traveler's Tales, like how they do that. Like have such big games and incorporate things from the movies into the games, and then have all these like unlockable characters with like different movesets for each.
Yeah, I mean, with this one, it's a little more understandable since they really slowed down on their output with games, and they took like
Mhm.
5 years to make this game or something like that. Like some
Yeah.
crazy amount of time.
And there was still
Um,
a bunch of crunch involved.
Yeah, of course. But yeah,
You guys take your time with this. Oh shit, it's got to be out in a month.
Yeah, what are you, Platinum Games?
Yeah.
yeah. Platinum Games would
I-
have probably
actually-
just released one
I
game.
can't.
for
I can't
each
stop
movie.
watching the replaced gameplay. Ever since you brought that back up, it looks so freaking good, man.
Day one Game
Yeah.
Pass, definitely playing. that.
Seriously.
But yeah, now I think that's pretty much the end of the show. Is there any final thoughts anybody had? Any random rants from anyone? Greg, Brett?
Actually
No
got one
random-
thing to plug.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
what are you
Okay.
plugging?
Hyrule Warriors is on sale for $29 at Best Buy.
How much?
29 down
Okay.
from
Age of Calamity or Definitive Edition?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
What was the
Hopefully,
recent? What was
Age
the
of
recent one?
Calamity.
Age of
The new one's
Calamity.
Age of
Yeah.
Calamity.
That one.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Best Buy and Amazon have like pretty massive sales right now on Switch games.
They're doing buy two get one free on games, I think, at Amazon.
Yeah, and then
Maybe
Best Buy, I
something
forget what their shtick was, but they just got like a couple games on sale and stuff. Yeah, save $30 off Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a solid deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo
You can
cannot
buy-
afford to go any lower ever. So
No, yeah.
buy it while you can.
That'll be your Breath of the Wild 2 fix until it comes out next year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
I'll say I've already 100% that game too, unfortunately. It's like I don't even
Jeez.
have. Yeah.
Doesn't
Wow.
that take like over 100 hours?
It takes a bit, yeah.
You're
There's
sick.
Really?
a bit of grinding involved to get like the full 100%.
Mm.
So but
Jeez.
I've done it.
Oh man.
I'm still salty over that game's story. It really let me down. Like the
It-
multiverse.
yeah.
And rant starts in 3, 2.
It was just
1.
like,
Oh,
why did
God.
they have to? Like, we knew that the people were supposed to die, and they didn't. Okay,
We
I will
almost
get
got through a whole show
Continuity,
with that one.
continuity.
they could have accepted the fact that they were supposed to die, but they decided, you know what, this has to end happy. So multiverse. So stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, but we got the little egg guardian. And it's the
That was
cutest thing
stupid.
ever. And I
You
love it.
stupid.
I love him
Stupid
so
price tag.
much.
As soon as I saw the egg, I was like, oh god, no, please.
What?
I just knew that the whole time I was just waiting, because the whole part I was looking forward to was to see how they were going to end the game, because I knew everyone was going to die, and they didn't end it like that because of the stupid egg. So
But don't take it out on the egg.
it's his fault. He broke reality.
Brett's about to transition into a third traumatic story about how eggs did something horrible to
And
him.
then
in
they
his early
broke
life.
my
He broke
penis.
his penis.
But yeah. Now let me tell you about the third time I broke my penis. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and end the show.
What's left of it after that point?
About a half an inch.
That's all
Just
I have.
memories.
That's all I have.
Just
in memories are
thoughts
all
of
that's
it.
This has been Spot Dodge. And Brett, if people want to find you, where do they go?
They can go into Twitter and find me. I'm on there. B_Lars24. It should be on my name here.
Sweet. Mary, what are you working on, and where can people find you?
You can find me over on the Destructoid show on Snapchat. We have 3 episodes a week. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, Mary Wants a Cookie.
Awesome. Greg, what about you?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch with my newfound lisp. But I'm over there at dynamite_giraffe. I'm going to be starting, I think, once Kirby's done, because I've been playing through adventure games mostly on Monday nights. We'll start Lego Skywalker Saga. And then over on PC Invasion, you can find my bylines there. And I think that's it.
Now, Greg, I will say I hopped into your stream and I commented, and then you never said anything. So I was like, screw
He
this
explained
guy.
to me why.
And
'cause I did the same thing.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes like my comment feed will come through on Streamlabs OBS and I'll see it. And then sometimes it won't. And I'll go back to my Twitch and there's like 5 or 6 comments. I'm like, I'm not doing a good job here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
I
screw this
did the
guy. He's
same-
just
I-
ignoring his fans.
No, I did the
Well-
same thing. It was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, it's Brett L," and I like called him like a cuss word or something, and he didn't respond. I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
Well, you know what? I would like to take this moment to apologize to you, Brett Larson. I didn't mean to make a comment. And to you, Brett Medlock, and your broken dick, I'm sorry.
I'll be forever known as the guy with the broken penis.
I know how my mom feels.
What?
What?
Anyway,
So many
John.
questions I have for after the show.
Yeah, that's for next week when I'm not here. John, if people want to know where to find you or what you're up to, where are you?
You can find me. You can find me vigorously defending my penis because you've taught me there's so much to lose.
Or not a lot.
Not a whole lot
Inches
to
and
lose.
inches. Yeah. You can catch me at the Escapist doing escapist stuff. And I'm on Twitter. It's my name, John Friscia, Friscia. And I'm making a video game called Boss Saga. Got the website is boss-saga.com. It's going to be the greatest game of all time. You should probably just ask me for my PayPal so you can start paying me for it now.
Exactly.
And, stay tuned.
Awesome. And if you want to find me, my name is on the screen right now at BrettNLL on Twitter. And I'm making the Destructoid show over on Snapchat, 3 episodes a week. And it's a lot of hard work, and we are doing as much as we can to make people care about it. And some episodes do really good, but sometimes they don't. And you should go help out and go subscribe over on Snapchat. Or if you're a normal person, you can go over on TikTok and just watch our uploads there because they're essentially the same thing, just all cut up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been Spot Dodge, and we will see you guys next week without me. Hopefully they still do the show. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.